Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So this video is going to be all about our tenant so far and our tenant experience throughout this journey that we've gone on. If you're interested in that, please keep watching. But don't forget, if you're not subscribed to this channel, make sure you smash that subscribe button. And hit that like button too. It really does help. And let us know if you like content like this so that we can keep producing it. And all right, let's get into the video.
Yeah.
Like I said, this video is going to be all about our tenant experience so far, the good, the bad, the ugly, the confusing, the annoying, all of that. So okay, what has been the worst tenant experience that you've had? And it doesn't have to be like one of our properties. It could be someone that you you've helped put into.
All right. How long do we have for this video? The worst experience we've had was one that resulted in an eviction. And this was an individual who
was insane.
Yes. I can't say it any better than that. She decided that she was not going to pay the rent anymore and was going to flaunt it to my face that she was living in a free house. And it went through a whole bunch of craziness where I got threatened to get beat up by her son, and it just was absolutely nuts. Yeah. So I could tell this story for 20 minutes. I'm just trying to condense it down, but that has been the absolute worst. She was texting my phone crazily with all kinds of messages threatening, and I had to block that number.
Yeah, it's a longer story, but basically she was insane, and she did a lot of threatening, a lot of cussing. Yeah, it was a lot. Anyways, let's move on.
Next question.
What has been the most rewarding experience with respect to tenants throughout our journey?
I would say for me, the best feeling I get from doing this is that moment when somebody who didn't think they qualified to live in a place like what we have finally gets the keys, and they're super excited and thanking us for the opportunity to live in a place where they thought they couldn't. To me, that is one of the most rewarding things about this, and honestly, I strive to get that feeling as often as I can, because it just makes it feel like everything you do is worth it.
Yeah, there's been a couple of tenants that like till now, and it's been, some of them have been like 2 years, one maybe one has been 3 years. They still like text him saying thank you so much. Like every time they pay their rent, they're still like thanking him, like thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. So we mentioned in another video, but in case you haven't watched our previous videos, one of the areas, or the main area that we focus on for our investment properties are minority neighborhoods. So I would say 95% of our tenants are minorities, Hispanics and Blacks.
That is correct. And it's just one of those things that, unfortunately, based on the way our society is set up, we have little things that might prevent people from getting access to quality housing. And not because they're not good people, not because they can't afford it, but based on things in their past or whatever the case might be, it prevents them from having quality housing, which is also a precursor to having stability and a whole bunch of other things around life that are necessary. And so one thing we try to do is make an effort to look past that and assess them for who they are rather than maybe things they've done in the past.
Before you get into like what we look for in like tenants when we're getting it, I want you to share one specific story. If you're gonna skip through any part of this video, don't skip through this part. I want to talk about the veteran that you that's in one of our properties, and his I guess journey and how we played a part in it.
Yeah, so we had a vacancy in one of our units, and this one individual came through and was upfront with me. He was an Army vet, and he had a record. And he was like, hey, I have a record, just want to let you know up front before you do your background check and everything. And so I went through it, and none of the stuff on paper looked good in his report, but he seemed like a nice guy. Mentioned that he's done with everything he had and he just wanted to start over, and this was his opportunity to start over. So we decided to, take the chance and move forward with him. And he was great. He was helping even with some of the management of the place, just on time, just overall great guy. And he'd been there for a while. And then recently he came up, was about to pay his rent, and he let me know. He was like, man, I'm about to come into some money. I'm like, what do you mean?
What do you mean? Some money.
I'm like, what do you mean? And he mentioned that in the past, he got injured while fighting in the Vietnam War, and his knee got injured. And typically when the soldiers get back, they go to the VA and apply for disability and things of that nature to get paid by the VA for the injury they suffered during the war. And because this injury actually prevented him from qualifying for certain jobs that he could have been able to get, which limited his income potential, all that kind of stuff.
Systemic racism. Sorry, go ahead. I'm just making me so upset, but go ahead.
So long story short, he gets a call randomly from this one guy who let him know that apparently this guy was close to death or whatever the case might be. Let him know that he unfortunately was getting paid back in the early 70s to deny war vets, especially minority war vets.
Specifically minority, not specially.
Specifically minority war vets from getting their benefits when they came home to apply for it, because he got denied his disability when he came back from the war. And it was just this whole thing that led to a spiral downwards for him during that period early on. So this guy provided him all the information that he needed to go reapply for those benefits right now, and highlighting the injustice that was done to him back then. He gets everything, and they were going to pay him for all the disability he was owed since the early 70s up till 2020, and continue from there. So he comes up to me and he was like, man, I'm about to come into some money. So in reality, I'm gonna bounce. And I can't tell you how happy I was for him to be able to move on from where he was. And this guy was just so happy, and during that time he even thanked me again for the opportunity to have, a stable, nice place to live while he was working,
and for giving him a chance, because he was going like he found it so hard to get housing. Everywhere he went, he would always get denied. So he's just been super grateful since then. For giving him a chance in providing a space for him to live. So. Yeah, and we're super happy for him. Like, he's about to be paid. So
get paid.
We're super, super excited for him. And that's just one of a few really, really inspiring and rewarding stories that we've had in just these past 3 years. So just to wrap this up, I just wanted to ask one more question. So how do you vet like who gets to live or who gets approved to live in a properties?
One of the hardest things about doing this is there's no textbook, there's no specific strategy to read through on how to do it. But one of the things I try to keep in mind is and it's weird to say this, but there's always a gut feeling whenever you talk to somebody. And because we do credit check, background check, get pay stubs, all the regular stuff you're meant to do, but that doesn't, considering the people we're catering to, you have to keep in mind that all that stuff might not always check out, right? So the credit might not always be the best. So you have to look past that. The background check might have some spots. So you have to look past that too. Then obviously we want to make sure that the income is sufficient to be able to live, because that's very important. And have a, I guess, semi-interview with the person, kind of asking, you know, where they come from, what they're looking for, how, like, why are they looking for a house now, kind of what their plan is. So yeah, that's kind of the general gist. And so after gathering all that information, then it's up to us to just check your gut and see if this is worth the stress. We have hedges in place, like deposits and things like that, that can kind of tide us over. But, you know, just see if this is worth doing and check yourself. And if, you know, your gut tells you it's great, then go for it. And whenever your gut tells you it's not good, trust it. Because if you don't trust it, you might end up in court trying to evict someone.
I will say, like, with respect to our tenants, I'm like the mean one.
Definitely.
And he's like,
she's the rule of the law, the hammer.
I just don't like being taken advantage of.
True.
And I will make sure that that never happens, especially like to anybody that I love. So, and he's very like easygoing, like, you know, I wouldn't say understanding, because we're both understanding, but he's more like willing to give breaks, where I'm more like, yeah, you could have a couple breaks, but when it comes to the point where I feel like you're taking advantage, you got to go. So I think it's also good to have a partner that kind of like balances you in a way. So yeah, I think that's helped us, because
definitely.
Well, I do want to also add that, like, I'm very like behind the scenes, although like in the very near future I probably will have to be more in front of the scenes, just because it's growing.
Need 4 hands on deck.
It's growing. So, but so far I have been very, very behind the scenes, whispering in his ear. They don't even know me. Most of them don't even know me. So So anyways, that's all for this video. I think we're gonna cut it here. Again, if you have any questions about anything we've talked about, please leave it in the comment section below. Also, thumbs up this video and subscribe if you're not already subscribed. If you like content like this, please just let us know. All you have to say is, love these videos, keep it going, just so that we know that we're not just producing this in vain, right? So we definitely want to help y'all. Like, we're doing this because we want more people that look like us to be in this space and to, you know, start growing wealth and start owning things in this country. But yeah, love y'all. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.
Deuces.